Hi there, these comments are for MT and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And I just read your independent writing practice test number 28. So with this one, your main thing is you have to you got to show more development than what you are. So this is very important. I mean, let's face it here. You wrote for 51 minutes and you wrote 123 words during that time. So that means basically you are writing about 2 words every 60 seconds is about all you could get. So it's just not enough development. So what could you do? So let's take a look at 2 paragraphs. I'm going to give you some general ideas on what you can do to develop ideas a little bit more. So you have a general sense about your organization, right? But you didn't really have a conclusion, so that's not good. And even your introduction is a little bit too short. You're looking to get maybe 100 words, so you wrote about 45. You might see something like this. So you might see something like this. So I'm just showing you how you can develop your ideas a little bit more. So since our neighborhoods are places of serenity, they're important for our lives. You can put our families and children live there. Combine these 2 sentences together so you don't have those 2 shorter. Okay, so I think we're making some progress. So people come home from work and from doing errands, and they can sometimes find themselves exhausted. Since our neighborhoods are places of serenity, they are most important for our lives. In addition, our families and children live there, so it's important we maintain this area by keeping crime out, by making sure there's no trash, and by keeping things as peaceful as possible. Alright, so I think we're getting the paragraph a little bit more developed. So what I'm showing you is I'm showing you what you need to do. So we're almost there. We're at 85 words. Your goal is to get closer to 100, right? Okay, so you say people come home from work and from doing errands, and they can sometimes find themselves exhausted. Since their neighborhoods are places of serenity, they are most important for our lives. In addition, since our families and children live there, so it's important we maintain this area by keeping crime out, by making sure there's no trash, by keeping things as peaceful as possible. Then you might include a counter argument. Even though some believe that building a new movie theater see here, you need a more specific thesis here. So you say it shouldn't be built for 2 reasons. Let's put what those reasons are here, and then it's a little bit easier to organize your essay. So even though some believe that building a new movie theater will bring entertainment to my community, you can say here, it should not be built in our neighborhood. Now we have to take your 2 key points. Traffic and safety. It will lead to traffic congestion and will cause safety issues. Now we got it. So now we have 100 words. This is what you're looking for. Each of your paragraphs need to be closer to around 100, because your goal here is to write about 350 to 450 words. Okay, so now what we want to do is to take one of your paragraphs and develop it more than it is. And this is going to help show you have some depth and complexity of thought to ideas. So right now you have a 54-word paragraph. You might say first, a movie theater will lead to traffic congestion in my neighborhood, which is why I oppose its construction. That's what I would say there. I would just say this instead of at this time, like other areas residents in my neighborhood depend a lot on their cars. And say therefore, you have when it was there a new movie theater in our neighborhood. You don't need to say it like that. How about when a new movie theater in our neighborhood? Therefore, when a new movie theater in the neighborhood is built, customers from other residential areas will travel to my area to watch movies. The traffic from moviegoers combined with the traffic of my neighborhood so the traffic from moviegoers combined with the traffic of my neighborhood So I think we have it. This is kind of what it looks like. So what do we have now? Now we have 100 words. So what I did is basically I doubled the number of words in your paragraph by explaining things in a little more detail. Alright, so now let's take a look at what we have here. Say first, a movie theater will lead to traffic congestion in my neighborhood, which is why its construction, which is why I oppose its construction. Like other areas, residents of my neighborhood depend a lot on their cars. Therefore, when a new movie theater in our neighborhood is built, customers from other residential areas will travel to my area to watch movies. The traffic from moviegoers combined with the traffic of my neighborhood will create heavy congestion that will inconvenience us, even making our commute times longer when going to work, since these movie goers will be entering and exiting the freeway to get to my area. This is added stress that my neighbors and I could do without. This is what you're trying to do. Now here's your goal. In terms of writing, I mean, if you're taking 51 minutes to write an essay, you should at least develop your paragraphs like this. And instead of just having 2 reasons, I recommend 3. So basically you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll have 5 paragraphs that follow this type of development. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at these 2 paragraphs one more time. People come home from work and from doing errands, and they can sometimes find themselves exhausted. Since our neighborhoods are places of serenity, they are most important for our lives. In addition, our families and children live there, so it's important we maintain this area by keeping crime out, by making sure there's no trash, by keeping things as peaceful as possible. Even though some believe that building a new movie theater will bring entertainment to my community, it should not be built in our neighborhood, since it will lead to traffic congestion and will cause safety issues. First, a movie theater will lead to traffic congestion in my neighborhood, which is why I oppose its construction. Like other areas, residents in my neighborhood depend a lot on their cars. Therefore, when a new movie theater in a neighborhood is built, customers from other residential areas will travel to my area to watch movies. The traffic from moviegoers combined with the traffic of my neighborhood will create heavy congestion that will inconvenience us, even making our commute times longer when going to work, since these moviegoers will be entering and exiting the freeway to get to my area. This is added stress that my neighbors and I could do without. Okay, so I went ahead and edited 2 of your paragraphs. Now it's time to figure out your score. Let's see how you'll score on this. With yours, you have a somewhat sense of organizing your ideas, and you actually have somewhat fairly good control of your sentence structure, but there's an inappropriate lack of details, examples, explanations to support your generalizations in response to the writing task, so you did not develop your ideas enough. Again, limited development of ideas as it relate to the topic and the task. So you need to work on developing your ideas a lot more than you are. So your score here is 2.0 out of 5, or 14 points out of 30. So what I'd like for you to do now is you have some sense of how to organize your ideas, but still you need more practice with this kind of writing task, right? So what I recommend between now and the final exam, complete 4 to 6 additional writing practice tests. These things will not affect your grade. They will not be part of your grade, but my teaching assistant will score them, and you can monitor your progress as you're preparing for the final exam in this class. So I think with some practice you'll develop, I think, a knack or a talent of being able to write under time constraint and to develop your ideas more. So the other thing is obviously increase your exposure to English right now. That means watch more movies. That means read more newspapers, read more magazines, read more books, right? Talk to more native speakers. You need to make a concentrated effort to speak and use the language more, and that will help. It'll be much easier for you to develop ideas in English on your own when you're writing. So I know it takes time. Sometimes it's hard because with the independent writing task, you're trying to create content and things of that nature. Alright, so again, your score here is 2.0 out of 4, 14 points out of 30. Now for the purposes of our class, this is going to put you at 64% out of 100. So your goal again on the final exam is what you want to do is you want to follow my lead. You see how we developed your introduction and your first paragraph? Your other paragraphs need to follow this kind of development. So for the final exam, try to go for 350 to 450 words for this type of writing task. Alright? Okay, thank you for completing this assignment.